Good bright morning, beautiful people. How are you? So I'm on my way to the stage. I've had to take a small matatu, the small one. I'm at a famous car. Yeah, that's Nairobi, developing so fast. You know, you can always tell when it's a Kenyan. With my brief appointment, I've collected what I. So I stopped by to remove a piece of. I don't know whether it's the first place that I'm going to is the Junction Mall, which is just going to go into Carrefour and get busy laughing at myself because nakwambia ubabi sijazoea. I passed people against my better judgment. I'm just going to have to go home. It's 3 o'clock. Hello viewers, it's evening. I got good bright morning, beautiful people. How are you? Wherever you are, I hope you're well. Happy holidays. I'm wishing you happy holidays. I'm wishing you good health. I'm wishing you healing if you're unwell. If you're bereaved, I'm wishing you comfort. And if you're feeling low, I'm wishing that, I'm praying and hoping that you're going to feel uplifted, that you're going to feel cheered, that you remember that you're special, that you remember life has ups and downs, and this is just one of the low times you're going through, but soon it shall be well. Trust in the heavens, trust in the universe. Things will always get better after they have been bad. Just keep on working on it, believe in yourself, and stay positive. So how are you? Welcome to my channel. Welcome back to those who've been watching. For those of you who are new here, my name is Josephine. I come from a beautiful, magical country called Kenya in a very sunshiny, as usual. I'm just staying away from the sun actually. It's that bright. But if I stay in the sun, I don't know whether I'm going to be able to shoot properly. Yes, so I live in a very sunny, beautiful area called Ruai, which is on the outskirts of Nairobi and next to a beautiful county called Machakos, which is one of my home counties and where I was born. So I hope you're having a nice time, preparing well for Christmas. If you're preparing for travel, I hope you have all your bookings well set. If not, please recheck. Don't forget to recheck. There's always something that might go wrong because you forgot to recheck the last minute. So I woke up early today, but I'm having problem. I used a different phone to record part of my day yesterday. I was with somebody in the house, and as usual, of course, that has brought a problem. But I'm going to make sure that the day doesn't end before you have a video. I'm on my way out. I won't tell you where I'm going. You'll just come along with me and see where it is that I'm going. Thank you very much for those of you who've been continuously watching. We're still at 104 subscribers. Much appreciation. But I can see the viewers for the past 1 week have been 5,100. And then I noticed something funny. Okay, it's not funny and maybe I shouldn't laugh at it. But I noticed that men stop watching my videos when I'm getting very hard on men. And when I stop that, they come back and watch. So be it. It's just something that I noticed. And then I noticed that in the past 1 week, a lot of younger generation, Gen Zs, were watching my videos more than older people, my compatriots, and people who are slightly younger, 45 to 55. Oh, that's a positive. I'm impressed and I'm honored that you find my videos worthy of watching. So wherever in the world you are, I hope you're well. I wish you well. God bless you. Hello and how are you? In Jesus' name, and salam alaikum for those of you who are Muslims. We'll go now. I'm going to be out for the day. I also intend to be out to see, I told you I want to see the malls at night. And I'll just see how that goes because I'm also going to pick a piece of luggage. I don't know how heavy it's going to be. And also one of the malls that is the most sung about in Nairobi, that is the best decorated. I want to pass there, but I want to see how, I'm going to ask first when I get into town, how feasible it is for me to come by public means from there. You know me, I like to save up on the money. So I don't want to consider taking an Uber from all the way up to home. And my home is challenging, but maybe I might consider just taking an Uber for a short ride until where I can get public transport then to come home. So walk with me, welcome. Thank you very much for staying on the channel. Thank you very much for the support. I told you that continuously, you're the people who uplift me, who encourage me, who make it worth it for me to keep on posting a video every day or two. So let's walk. So I'm on my way to the stage. I didn't want to vlog earlier because there was a man who was walking behind me, and it's not somebody I know from this area, so I had to be careful. And I had to keep my bag on the other side of the shoulder and just kept on glancing back. But luckily he turned away. Yeah, I keep on. It's holiday time, but even now in holiday time, our streets are quite empty. And I have to be very careful when I'm walking to make sure that if there are no people behind me, or if it's only one person behind or in front of me, then I'm not going to vlog, just to take care. So I'm coming out, and I'm just hoping, I'm praying that it's not going to be so difficult for me to be able to connect, arriving where I'm picking the little luggage that I am, parcel, and then go on to, I'd like to get into at least 3 malls today, if not maybe 2, but for 2 of them, or for at least 1, it should be evening or nighttime, so that I can see them in the full splendor of their decoration. I also have that childlike excitement in me about Christmas, and then we've not really bought a lot of our Christmas decorations. This year we are doing Christmas decorations because of the baby. You know how young mothers are. They want the baby to experience. He's probably going to want to tear and break all of them down, but hey, what other fun is there of having a baby around? Yeah, but so I want to go and look for decorations that are also can allow him to play, that he can play with as he, that he can play with. Also because of taking photos, mainly for the mother, my daughter, and for us all, for memories, for keepsakes, and also for ourselves anyway. So yeah, to have the house decorated. Last year I decorated Thorn on the Road. Yeah, there are people behind me, but there are quite a number. Last year I decorated, but I didn't decorate very much, but at least that was a first, and I'm glad for that. Another thing I noticed is that I don't have a pile up of good music, and well, I don't normally listen to very good music, you know, but when I'm with my kids, I'm like, wow, this music you're listening to is very beautiful. And then when I'm in matatus, our public transport, sometimes I'll be listening to a playlist, and I'm like, wow, that was so beautiful. I'd like to have that. So one thing I'm going to do is to start collecting music, because most of the time during the festive season, there's really not much watching of TV, of television, unless it's something special. But since it's more about bonding and getting together, how much better than to have background music? And it shouldn't always be just Christmas music and gospel music. There's so much other music to like and keep, and I'd like to have music that I can keep for listening all throughout the year. Yeah, I think I've denied myself a lot, or I've kept myself so busy that I've denied myself little pleasures like that. Yeah, so that's one thing that I'm definitely going to do, probably starting today even. Just start downloading some music and keeping it. Yeah, for a long time I've just kept a bit of music, but it was very old music, and I think because I'm in a period where I'm I'm doing a lot of self-appreciation, self-loving, and self-care. I realized that that's not the only music that I should be listening to. All music I listened to when I was in my 20s and 30s. No. I want contemporary music for now, music that, strikes me with the day, with what's happening in today, with how love is appreciated today. Old-time love songs also had messages with how love was treated in that day. Now things are different. So yes, I want to have some of the international hits. I've never been a person to really follow music for because this musician is hot and that musician is hot. That's a lot of the different kind of ordinary about me. But more and more I realize that, of course, sometimes being the usual and not the different pays. It pays a lot. It helps a lot. So I'm going to start downloading music. I got out some things for making crafts yesterday, but I didn't start on that. I'll probably start today. I'm so happy that the compound was enlarged. Oh my goodness. It gives me a certain freedom that I cannot express. I like space around me. I've grown up with space around me. So that's one thing that I was missing quite a lot. And now I'm so appreciative of it. Yeah, you don't feel constricted because the space, though not very large, at least allows you to take a few steps without reaching the gate and without reaching the border of the compound. And so you're able to do a bit more. And I can't wait for when most of the family will already be on holiday. Not only just the kids, but other relatives who might be coming by to visit. So that we can also get different ideas or work together on further beautification of the compound. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. I think I should give you a 360-degree view, but I'll give it a bit ahead. I noticed there's only one girl behind me, but like I keep on saying, I'm not 30 years old, and in case she was not as innocent as she looks, and she decided to come and grab this phone, I'm very, very sure, absolutely, I wouldn't be able to run as fast as she can or to catch up with her. Yeah, so that's me. I'm very paranoid also. I think I've seen so much in my life that I'd rather be careful and wrong than sorry. Yep. So coming to Christmas, a lot of people have beautified their fences. So the area is looking clean and neat. And then we had a spate of rain yesterday and the day before. Yesterday not so heavy, but the day before it was a bit heavy, which is good. That means a bit of the crops and the plants on the ground are going to have had quite a relief. And there's promise that come January it won't be so bleak as we'd have expected. So I'm waiting to reach the corner, then I can give you the 360-degree view of the skyline of Aruai today, where there are more people, of course. The building that was in the corner is now completed. I feel so good when development is progressing and is doing well in the estate, or rather in the village or the region, whatever you may call it. Wow, this is nice. Oh, and we're going to have lighting here. This is going to be safe because this road has normally been so dangerous for people at night. So I can see there's an electric, not an electric pole, but a street light pole. Wow. If that goes up, that's going to be so good. And I think it's been engineered by the developer of this plot for the security of upcoming tenants. Woo, that's good, because this is a popular road, but when it doesn't have electricity, it becomes dangerous for people. So let me do the 360. It's the sky is very Okay, there are just a bit of clouds. Yeah, just a bit of cloud cover, but generally just a blue sky. Yeah, and the sun is already blazing. But today, because it's still raining, I've made sure to carry my umbrella, a small umbrella. I have a bigger one, but that's very heavy for carrying long distance. Oh, this is also the time of the year when organizations are doing giveaways of diaries, umbrellas, branded items. And I've not been very much in contact with a lot of friends who are in the corporate world. So I'll keep my fingers crossed. I'm hoping to get a diary, and some of you organizations, you should start considering giving things that are a bit much more useful. I know you're aiming for the corporate identity and enhancement stuff like gumboots, raincoats, just materials like kitenges. Have kitenges branded, and it doesn't have to be branded in your logo. It could just be a small segment branded in your logo, but the majority of it, picturesque views of Kenya, of your offices. I wish I had some of these opportunities. Kenya is magical. Kenya is so beautiful. If I was in the PR section of a company, I'd make sure that our branded items feature Kenya so predominantly, and stuff that is made in Kenya. Even our crafts, even people with unique talents in Kenya, traditional dancers, there's so much. Think out of the box for next year. So I've arrived at the stage and I have people to say hello to, so I'll catch up with you later. And I can see there are many people here, so there's likely to be quite a bit of a wait before the matatu comes. I've had to take a small matatu, the small ones, because there's a shortage of matatus today, so that I can come and connect at our bypass stage. Then I can take one going into town, because standing at our stage was going to take long. This is the bypass stage, remember the one I usually show you. So this is where I'm going to now connect the bigger matatu, one that goes directly into town, so that I can arrive in town faster. But today there was a shortage, I think, because a lot of people are traveling. So, luckily here is one. I'm at a famous public service vehicle station, and I just want to show you how many Kenyans are traveling and how difficult it becomes, because sometimes you book a ticket and then you wait for the whole day for a bus that is just leaving the destination that you're going to, so that it may come later on to come and pick you. So this is where one of the more famous bus companies are. I'm not going to go quite inside, because you have to enter inside when you're booked, but I just wanted to show you an overview of how it is. All places are packed, whether it's the parcel place or whether it's where passengers are booking, and there's a shortage of vehicles, because normally when the crowd is not so busy, you'll see plenty of buses waiting in line for passengers to board. But right now it's just passengers waiting in line and there are no buses. I mean, this is so evident, and people are booked in the thousands. So you can just see that's an overview. That is Guardian Coach. Then we have Easy Coach right at the end, and then we have the lounges for Easy Coach on this side. And all across, if I look even to the farthest side, where we have right over there, in that yard and in this yard and in that yard, actually in all the yards here, normally buses will be fully lined up, bus after bus after bus, waiting for passengers to come. But now the story is different. Now it's passengers waiting in the thousands, waiting for the buses, and the buses are not here. The buses are probably on their way in from Western. Most of the buses are going to Western, are probably on the way in, or some of them have left, and some of the passengers will probably be traveling at night. But what they do is that if you live in a far area of Nairobi or the outskirts, you come to the station early, so that you avoid getting stuck in the jam. You come to the station early, and then you've already booked your bus in advance. And then those who haven't booked their buses will come here to hope and wait that a passenger might cancel, and then they get a last-minute bus. And the rush is real. Right now the rush looks like it's bad, but come the end of the week, what is going to happen is that people are going to be stranded here, and people will be waiting here for as long as 12 hours with families, with children, just sitting at the stage and sending a person, go and check if there's a shuttle that is available, go and check if there's a matatu that can carry us, and pay extra charges. And some of these routes will be charging as much as double each day. So yes, that is the reality of Christmas travel in Nairobi. I'm glad I'm not part of that right now. I might be later on, but I've got my arrangements made up, and I give thanks and glory to God, because at least we come from very near. Machakos is just around the corner. So for us to travel, that's even if it went very high, that's 500. But buses of country will go up to 2,000, 3,000 shillings per person. I'm wishing everybody a safe journey. I'm wishing everybody Merry Christmas. I'm wishing everybody journey mercies. And I'm hoping that the bus companies are going to be very agreeable this time and provide more buses, keep more buses on the road, and make sure the drivers are sticking to schedules so that passengers may arrive on time. So now let me go on to my destination. Let's walk. The matatu is so empty. I'm just wondering what time it's going to fill. And normally what happens, I hope some luggage will come in. Normally what happens is that if it's so empty, they're just going to go around the roundabout, keep on circulating until it fills up. So I'm deliberating whether I should take another one where I light a bit further, and then I have to walk a distance that I'll get there faster, because I know this one is definitely going to delay us. So let me just go and get into the other one where I have to walk a bit further, but I'll get there faster because I have to finish everything I'm doing much earlier tomorrow. So this is much better. There are more people, it's going to feel much faster, and then I'll get there much faster than the other one. earlier the construction works were not this great, but now I can see it's gone on much longer. It's been about half a year. So I'm going to close here and I'm going to wait till the traffic is released. Yeah, that's Nairobi, developing so fast. When you're not somewhere for a few months, there's a change. This is a very major development. It started way last year, is it, or last year but one. There are always interruptions for road development on this road, so it's been there for years. So I'm not going to talk much because of the ongoing construction. There's so much. I have to be so careful the way the road is. I'm walking on a very small section of the side. Oh, okay. This is clearly demarcated. That's where I'm going, and I needed to make sure that the paveway is well made. So ouch! Ow, 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 ow. The ballast is sharp in some points, and the shoes I'm wearing are rubber. Ow! So that was painful. So I have to be careful, and some of the paving stones here have holes in them. So I'll talk to you when I get to even ground, when I'm walking on the soil or when I'm walking on a tarmac road. You know, you can always tell when it's a Kenyan contractor who's working on a project. You can always tell when it's a Kenyan contractor who's working on a project. Those fellows behind have just asked me to put the phone down, and I wonder, because this is a public works project, they are also guilty. Actually, I heard them complaining because the work, it already looks so shoddily done. The way they are working, in one section it's one person working, in another section it's them. You can even see the way the staff inside the gullies they are digging there's just shoddiness all over, and that's how money is siphoned off projects in Kenya. Because I'm very sure if this was a Chinese contractor, all due respect to our Kenyan contractors, not all of them are bad. They sell flowers outside here, and most of this Ngong road, because it leads to the leafy suburbs of Karen, a very I must say a very influential and wealthy neighborhood. Then they bypass most of the residents bypass here, and so these people make money advertising and selling from here. So what I was saying is that when it's a Kenyan contractor, you'll always know, because you'll see the untidiness of the work. It's like they're just making sure that there's work that is ongoing, but there's a lot of time being delayed. You can find that work that is supposed to be done in a week may go up to a month. You'll find that sometimes parts are missing, sometimes equipment is missing, sometimes there's a delay of bringing materials. It's very, very annoying when it's public works. Of course, I'm not an expert. Anybody would say that. I mean, how do I know? Well, and in what capacity would I have room to complain or talk about that? But I'm Kenyan. We've seen it work. These are the things that perturb us so much as taxpayers, because we know that and that's why I'm working with examples. When it's some farms, they are professional farms that are known. Just the same way with all other types of services that are contracted out to different organizations that are given, that when tenders are given out, it is a known fact that there's so much underhand cutting, there's so much bribery, there's so much corruption going on, there's so much beefing of numbers, exaggerated figures everywhere. And so no wonder those fellows are telling me not to film. They know very well there might be something that they are doing that is, what was I going to film? I wasn't going to film the pipes, and I certainly wasn't interested in their faces. I'm just going to blur their faces, of course, but they are working on a public a public works project. So what's a big fuss about it? But again, so be it. It's just that it's very, very annoying. And when you see jobs that have been contracted out to farms and organizations that are legit, right from the start, you will see the neatness of it. Rubbish is ferried out. Waste material is carried carefully. The sealing of the working areas is done very well. You see, like what I was saying, I'm having to step on ballast, which has hurt my foot. If they were keen people, they know that that is a public walkway, a pathway. The curb is supposed to be clean because citizens are passing by the curb. It could be somebody who's barefoot, it could be a child, but the material has been laid to waste. It has filled the curb on so many instances when you're walking. And I was trying to look, should I walk across the road? It's also fenced. I mean, I wouldn't walk and then have to cross again. But that's what I'm talking about. There's a general untidiness with the works. Nobody can tell me anything. If you have a contract as big as that, whether it's cables they're laying, whether it's piping they're laying, your due diligence demands that you take care of the passers-by, of the other users of the road, that you ferry your materials carefully, that you seal off places where you're excavating, if it's that, and that materials that might be of any danger whatsoever to citizens and to passers-by must be kept neatly. And also the curb must be cleared. The walkways, the pathways must be cleared for the users to use without interruption. So I'll talk to you later. Yeah, that has just got me annoyed. I'll talk to you later and let's continue walking. With my brief appointment, I've collected what I had come for and I'm heading home. And I just wanted to show you that this canopy of trees reminds me, you see the way the canopy shades this path of the road. It reminds me of the Nairobi Animal Orphanage. Actually, when you go to view the animals, after you viewed between the caged animals and what can you say, and there's a walkway that goes that opens up into the forest. There's an area which has this kind of canopy, and it stretches for a very long walk, and it's so lovely. It gives such a welcome relief to viewers of the people who've come to see the animals. And since childhood, I really like the sight of trees above my head. I mean, nature I just have a spot for nature. And then, of course, in these areas, they've planted trees and flowers so much. It just pleases the eye, doesn't it? It looks so beautiful. It looks so beautiful. Yeah, and then you have different kinds of trees. These are the places where you should walk with children once in a while. You can come here, park, or just places where there are trees, and then walk with the children. I realize that our children don't know the names of trees very much. They just know the names of a few flowers, but they don't know the names of trees. So it would be such a good educative tour to have your children walk with you in a place that is filled with trees, flora and fauna, and then go teaching them different things. The names of the trees, what kind of seeds they have, whether they are trees that are indigenous or not. Look at this beautiful creeper. I get fascinated by creepers so much. It's on this jacaranda, and the jacaranda is so amazing. The way it blooms and flowers and becomes all purple, and then a season comes again and then it just totally dries. This area has a lot of jacaranda trees. That's one peculiar thing about it, because I think they were planted when the houses in the region were being set up, the estates were being set up, and that was just, I think, shortly after, maybe in the 70s, Yeah, I think in the 70s. So yeah, and probably some of them earlier, I wouldn't know, but it gives a very nice feel to the region. And they have a lot of wide spaces for that were set out for future development. But now, before the development sets in, concrete development, which is so injurious to community and society, because when you just have concrete everywhere, it's not very nice. But you see, like here, where there's a whole field, the wind comes, there's a breeze, there's a constant breeze. And when it comes through the trees, I think it's cooled down further, so that you find that the atmosphere here feels so good. But when you go to places where it's all concrete, it's a bit different, and it affects the minds differently. So I'm going to be getting onto the road, and I also don't want to come across those fellows and then they are like asking me about me filming, because I know they've felt bad about that, and they've obviously got something to hide for them to do that, because I had planned to blur their faces. So I'll talk back to you in a while. Those spots look so beautiful. I'm always admiring them when I bypass here. So if you're in Nairobi and you're looking for a place to buy your pots, your flowering pots, this is the place along Ngong Road as you head towards Karen, after the Junction Mall intersection. I wanted to show you how that overpass is going to be, but that lorry is blocking it. So yeah, that's it. So it's going to go up like a ramp and then go up and then come out way past just after the Junction Mall. Okay, now I've got to cross the road. So I stopped by to remove a piece of, I don't know whether it's a thorn, but where I got hurt when I was across the road, I think either a piece of thorn or cobblestone had entered my shoe. So I stopped and some gentlemen helped me to remove it. It was keeping on piercing me when I'm walking on rough ground. But right now, because I'm on cobblestones, I'm on paved walkway, I'm not feeling it. So it's lunchtime and I'm feeling hungry, and of course I'm not going to afford to eat in the malls because I came out on a budget, although I want to see the Christmas decorations in the malls. So I'm going to look for a kibanda somewhere where I can have a... Hello. Hi, I'm a YouTuber, so I'm just showing my way around and I want to go to malls. Huh?
You can get a chance.
Thank you very much. So this Alusha gave me some tips on something to do. Yeah, so I'm going to look for a place where I can eat, a reasonable cheap place. I'm a person of eating street food, so I have absolutely no problem, but I'm going to choose somewhere a bit fancy. Then what I'm going to do is that when I get into the malls, all I'm going to do is to take a juice or a soda. Okay, not a soda, because I'm not pro Coca-Cola. I'm probably going to take a juice or take a snack. And because I'm working a lot, I'm probably going to take some chocolate or something. But for right now, I know there's a place around here, because this is a place I used to work before in this area. So I used to come a lot to eat here. Nachunga. Oh, hey. So I'm going to go to a local eatery that is within this petrol station and have a bite. And then after that, I'm now going to start on the malls. And the first one I'm going to go to is, this is the Junction Mall. Right now it's early, of course. The decorations are not done. But be as it may, it doesn't matter. I'll just walk around the shop, the mall, see the decorations that are visible in the daytime, and then hop to the next one. And by the time I'm getting finished, I'm sure I'll find some that are lit up for the evening. So this is where I'm coming. Yeah. This is a place I've eaten before, so what I've ordered for is fries. And then, like I said, after I finish with the fries, when I go to the malls, that's where I'm going to probably stop and have either a coffee or a juice or just some liquids. I'll get some water also. I'll get water here to work with because I didn't carry my bottle of water. But this is going to be sufficient for me because I didn't have brunch before lunch. I mean breakfast before I left the house. But I had two pineapples as I was walking, two slices of pineapple as I was walking to hold me up for breakfast. I just had a glass of water in the morning. But the walking I'll be doing will not be so much. It's roaming around the malls. Of course, it's a lot. It's quite a bit, but the food I cooked yesterday's supper is also what I'm going to eat when I get home. If I'll have gotten very tired and hungry. So, welcome, lunch is served. The first place that I'm going to is the Junction Mall, which is just across the road. I've had my food at the petrol station, which is about opposite. This is somewhere that I've come to eat before. I think there's a time I was waiting for the children. This is where I came from just a short while earlier, and I had gone further ahead. So after that, I'm anticipating, because it's about 2 o'clock, that before 6 or at least before 5 o'clock, I'm going to be at the Imara Daima mall, which is the main target of today. Of all the malls that I want to go, that's the one I want to go and see. But I'm going to look at this one, although it's not yet lit up during the day, see how it is and film what I can of that. I've carried my power bank, so I don't have any fear of the phone going off. And then the main thing is Imara Daima. Even if I'll just get to see the outside only, I'll have achieved my target. So let's cross and let's walk. You can see the convenience of Junction Mall is that public transport is just right outside the gate, so it's very convenient for shoppers and visitors coming in from various places, and their parking is also very ample. Since I've entered, the first thing I want to do is to get somewhere where I can have a drink. I can see Java that is completely out. I can see Mayora, so I'm going to choose somewhere first to have a drink, relax a bit because I'm very hot. I've been working a lot, and then after that I'll go. I can see it's so well decorated, but I saw there's no photos sign inside, so I'm not very sure. I'm going to ask first from the security, then I'll find out. But first, I'm sitting for a drink. Yep. So I've walked around. Generally, I've just been looking around. I can see there's a central decoration here. I'm going to go into the supermarket, and that's where I'm going to have a drink. I really can't afford the rest of the places, but this looks beautiful. That's nice. Yeah, I should take one of the photos from here, and then I'm going to go into Carrefour and get something to drink. I'd rather just walk with that. Busy laughing at myself because nakwambia ubabi sijazoea. I passed Mr. Price, and before I knew it was Mr. Price, I was wondering, what is this MRP shop? Obviously, I don't walk in those streets, so you know. So I'm inside Carrefour, and what I'm looking for is a drink. Definitely not Coca-Cola, but a juice, Kenyan made. Let me look. Myself a juice. I'm going to sit here. I was told not to record inside, but this is so high, so I have to hoist myself and jump up, and then sit here and relax for a while before I move on. Seated. It's very cool, very nice atmosphere, people just lounging around. I like it, but I'm not going to be here very long, but I certainly need a drink. I'm going to drink this, sit a while, and then you'll walk with me as we go to that Imara Daima shopping mall. If you're tall, you'll definitely enjoy sitting here because the bench is quite high off the off the ground, so your feet are dangling. Me, I'm very short, so I'm like almost a foot and a half off the ground. But a tall person, you'll have fun because yeah, you can comfortably sit, and it's a very sturdy wooden bench with 2 layers of casing on, and then there are much lower ones like that one where that girl is, made of stone. Yeah, it's very nice for relaxing, so you can relax here with babies. And in the shade or in the sun, when the sun is not hot, I guess it must be very lovely at night if you're it's people who are looking for somewhere to date or come with the family and enjoy before while they have dinner and then go home or bypass somewhere for a walk. People, against my better judgment, I'm just going to have to go home. It's 3 o'clock, which means by the time I get into town, it might be 4 o'clock. And you know very well that I normally tell you for me to get to my home, if I arrive in town at 4 o'clock, I might be getting home at 7. So I don't want to take the risk of getting home late because the way is very far. I don't have the luxury of touring town as I would. I'm going to go to Imara Daima another day. Today I'm glad that I've come to the junction. I can very well say that the junction is not a place that I can afford very easily. This was just because it's Christmas and I've come to tour. The juice that I had is 150 shillings. It was actually the cheapest on the shelf for that category of drinks because I wanted a juice. I'm particularly not drinking Coca-Cola unless I'm forced to at a function because of the Jewish connection. And so I'm going to have to say goodbye here. I'm not going to record in the matatu. In the matatu is going to town and also going home because right now there's a lot of theft ongoing and I cannot take any chances whatsoever. So thank you very much for staying with me. Please remember to like and to subscribe. Garden City the Junction Mall is a very nice place. It's very family oriented from what I've seen, the crowd that is here. It's very beautiful. The atmosphere is very nice. There's a lot of parking. The decoration is very nice. And so if you're able to reach here, or if you're able to afford to come here, or if your family lives around and you're looking for a place to have a meeting, I'd recommend that you come to this place. I'll definitely come back with family one of these days before festive season is over again, but this time to come and have coffee and probably have a meal and just walk around because I know I haven't toured most of it. I'm tired because of the walking I've been doing, and the parcel I collected in the morning, I didn't expect it was going to be heavy, but it's quite a lot. It's books for me, for training, for part of the activism that I do. So I'm going to call it Kwaheri from here. Today it's not from Ruai, but from the Junction Mall on Ngong Road in Nairobi, beautiful Nairobi, part of magical Kenya, the capital of magical Kenya. And I'll say thank you. Please remember to like and to subscribe. I appreciate you. And from Kenya, it's bye bye. And the matatu coming out of Junction Mall, going into the, no, not a matatu, I've ordered a bus. The buses are more regular, they are more likely to enter into central town. The matatus will push you either at railway station where I took you some time back, or some other parts of town that are so far. So because I want to get home early and I am a bit tired, I prefer the bus. Just getting into town and it's 4 p.m. so I had estimated correctly. By the time I go and use a public bathroom and then I walk to the stage, I don't know whether I'm going to find a long queue. We'll be leaving the city center probably by 5 or 6 p.m. Hello viewers, it's evening. I got home about half an hour ago. Yes, I got what I had predicted was very right. I got to the bus stop at around 4:50. Well, the walk from where the bus that I had come with up to the bus station was it took me about 15 minutes, and then I went into the public bathrooms, and then I had to queue for about half an hour. So by the time we left the bus station, that was around 5, I arrived home. The road was relatively smooth, and we took a route that doesn't have a lot of cars. So I got home at around 6:30 at the stage. I alighted at the stage, and then I met a lady friend of mine. It's Christmas, it's a festive season. So there's a place where I normally go to buy samosas. I think I've highlighted it here and I've done a YouTube shorts about it and also on my TikTok. So I alighted to have samosas, and then I met a lady whom we've been friends for over 10 years. Yeah, that's a long time friend. Our parish was joined in the beginning in the Catholic Church, and then it has split as the area. People have continued to fill in the area. So the church has split so many times. We split from their church, and then their church split into other groups, and our church also has had, as a parish also, it has had so many, we call them outstations. So we started catching up and about the children and the grandchildren and family. And so we shared soup. She bought me some soup. We did some catching up. And I took and I sat down, and she was like, no, 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 no. We've not met for very long. There's no way you're going to rush home. Let's sit down and have soup together, catch up together. We don't need to be standing when we are talking or seated outside. So we entered. It's a butchery. What happens is that there's a butchery, and the butchery normally has samosas selling on the front, like a fast food takeaway, in a glass, in a shelf with a glass, a display shelf with a glass to keep them warm. And then there's the butchery. And when you enter the butchery, just behind where the butcher is, there's a small section that has tables and chairs. And so we sat there and we were served soup. It's the same place where I had soup the other time I had soup, the first time I had soup, and I had a stomach problem. But today the soup was very, very, absolutely fine. I mean, I gulped it down and I think that time also I boiled the soup, but it slept. I mean, it stayed overnight. Yeah, so like I said, it might not be them. It might just be that I did not take care of it well. But the soup was magnificent. It did not have fat. It was, it just had little fat, very lean fat. I was very surprised. I've never seen soup that is not so heavily congested with fat. And then I asked for chili, of course. So I peppered it with chili, fresh chili. It was nice. I think I drank it like tea. Yeah, it was very nice. I'm definitely going back for more. And so I got home at around almost 8. I had to pass a route that has that has more people. And then I realized that that road at night is very dangerous. The shoulders of the road are very narrow, and so when you're standing on the shoulder of the road, because there's there's a decline right off the shoulder of the road, if a car comes too close when they're overtaking or when the matatus or public service vehicles are coming to drop somebody, it could actually brush against you and it can make you fall down into the declining area. And so there's a lady who was crossing also, and I met her, and the same situation was almost happening to me. And so we stood there together for almost like 25 minutes waiting to cross. And we were like, if it's taking us this long and we are adults, what about when it's raining and maybe it's somebody who's unwell, or if it's children? And we started discussing it, and we were like, no, we need to petition our county representatives, our ward representatives, and tell them to do something about that, because that's very dangerous. Shoulders of the road are supposed to have a certain width to make it comfortable for public service vehicles to come and pick passengers, while ensuring that the pedestrians on the road have enough space to stand and for the public service vehicle to park without anybody having to be in danger because of that. But at that specific stage, which is called Acacia stage, and even in the other stage which I use, which is called Makongeni stage, we don't have that. That's why you normally see that in a stage there's an outward, there's a curve that goes out of the road, a section that is carved out like about 5 feet, 5 to 6 feet off the road on the side to act as a stage where public service vehicles can park and allow people to shelter when they're either to shelter or to stand when they're waiting for the vehicles, or to act as a drop-off point. But between here and stage 26, I think, that's about 3 stages, our stage, and I think even block 10, several stages along our road, they don't have that, and that is very dangerous. I mean, these are some of the things I think I'd expect that the public road works should be cognizant of, and it's something that we should campaign to have done for the roads in our area. So thank you very much. I've arrived home safely, and I'm about to do editing. I can say I had a successful day. I liked how it was. I'm busy. I fed well, so I'm not going to be eating again. I've had a bath. I'm just going to relax, and then tomorrow I think I'm going to do laundry in the morning, and I need to make my hair. What I was wearing was a wig, another wig. Yes, I told you I have several wigs, but I trimmed that one in the morning. I know some of you might have noticed the edges are not fine. It's neither here nor there. Yeah, some things don't worry me too much. It was irritating me so much in the morning when I wore it, and it was carving out so much. And so I just did something very hurried, trimmed the edges, and it sufficed for me to come out with. If it did not look too good, I was not going for a fashion show. I just needed to get out and to feel comfortable, and also to have my head warm and my head covered, and I think it sufficed for the day. So yeah, so thank you very much. Please remember to like and to subscribe. And thank you so much for those of you who are leaving comments, who are sharing, those of you who are liking, and of course my subscribers. A special, very, very, very special thank you to all of you. I appreciate you all. And now, I know I had said bye earlier. Now I'm in Ruai. I'm going to say God bless you, guide you, and protect you. And it's toodles.